Hi and welcome back to Permaculture Revolution. My name's Shay. Today we're at Stedsans in the woods, which you can see literally in the woods in the south of Sweden. Amazing to come here today and see the spread of permaculture all the way across in this remote location where you might not have heard about the movement so much. A couple of restaurateurs from Copenhagen have dropped the city life and come up here to this 7-hectare property on the lake, and it's amazing what they've achieved in 3 years, creating a restaurant, conference centre, short-term accommodation with some eco cabins and a pretty mean permaculture setup as well with their food production. Today we're meeting with one of the owners and founders, Flemming Hansen, who's a super cool guy and who was super generous with his time when he heard about what we were doing.
Finding sustainable food, healthy food, only focused on taste. That is when Stedsans became a political project. When you can actually just do something very, very meaningful for yourself and your surroundings by eating a good meal.
Welcome to Stedsans in the woods, an unlikely 7-hectare permaculture oasis right here, an hour and a half south of Gothenburg. They've got a really mean setup with some food production, a couple of great greenhouses, some raised garden beds, and they're doing really well with the soil structure that they started out with. They've brought in some great experts and really gotten a lot of food production happening quite quickly and working out what grows seasonally. They work with what dishes that they can serve based on what's coming out of the earth at that time. And they really have made themselves quite nimble and to roll with it and made a really boutique experience, which is all about bringing people into this earthy environment. The cabins you'll see completely glassed along the front of the cabin. So it's about getting people back in touch with Mother Nature. We started by asking Flemming how it all began.
There are many beginnings, I think, but I have done a 180. If I look back at myself 15 years ago, I lived on bad chocolate, Coca-Cola, and had my dinner 1 o'clock night at 7-Eleven. Working in the restaurant business, working all the time, not having time to take care of myself, and I didn't feel good. I had migraine constantly, and I could see 1 year was 1 kilo extra and all that. And I could just see it and needed to do something. And then I met some of the right people saying, hey, just try to focus on food. You cannot control your working hours right now, you cannot control this and that right now, the stress level and all that, but you can control the food. Just have an even blood level. I think that is one of the things. And I didn't have it from home, this thing about sustainability, but in 2010, my wife Mette, she opened a veggie store, and we got carrots from the best carrot producer around, we got the best beets from the best beet producer around, we got so on and so forth. And we ended up supplying to even the restaurants like Noma and stuff like that. Some of the producers supplying them, we introduced them. So we're friends with a lot of very, very good producers. But we've only focused on taste, and I could just see everything in that store was either biodynamic or organic. And at the same time, a very good and very thorough friend of mine always said, you always eat so healthy. And she is into the evolutionary approach to food. And since then, we just read a lot of books, have a lot of talked to a lot of people, and it's a win-win situation.
Since then, the guys have developed their own food production systems with a range of produce from all around the world. But the phenomenal thing is just this. The land here, it seems like it wants to feed people. As we're walking around with Flemming, he's picking everything up and explaining what it is, and these have certain vitamin C's. These ones have the antioxidants, and this one has a lemon flavor. And it seems like most of what they're utilizing in their dishes, especially with the garnishes and things, is just what grows here locally. It's phenomenal, and it's hard to say whether or not that's been by human habitation, which has been in this area for thousands of years, people propagating these plants, or whether the environment just naturally produces this edible landscape.
I actually think that the more, everything, no, not even something is actually very poisonous, but yeah, there's a lot of edible stuff here. And for instance, last year when we had this crazy drought where we didn't get any blueberries, if we had just pumped water up in a specific area, then we would get a lot of blueberries. So I'm getting more and more curious about how can we actually just steward nature And I think that will be, I mean, just cutting this down so the new fresh shoots are coming, and you know, I think that will be even more efficient than farming.
Yeah, we've got to relearn all that.
Exactly. And we have no one to ask because we killed all the witches.
Yeah.
Great food systems being utilised as well as animal systems, but it's actually in the building work where you see a lot of permaculture principles and ingenuity being used. The pots, pans and all the outdoor showers are heated over fire and use water from the nearby lake, which is filtered through an ingenious charcoal, carbon and sand filtration system. A few blocks of ice are used to keep anything cold, like the locally caught fish. And the restaurant is super simply constructed with some big chunky logs sat straight on the mossy forest floor under a canvas which is suspended by a series of pulleys and weights. Then of course there's their iconic wood-fired floating sauna.
I mean, both pigs are going with the snout in the down there all the time, and the chickens are going like that. So all lighter material go up, and shit and stuff that they don't eat will go down, and you create a huge compost, black gold. So we'll get like 30 cubic meters of perfect compost that we can use for our raised beds. But next step is we'll put a polytunnel over it with bubble plast, and then we actually have an insulated greenhouse where we can grow. I don't know how much we can expand the seasons.
Fleming has a really natural, simplistic approach to food, and he set up this super functional outdoor kitchen. It's really obvious that you've met someone special when you just watch this guy and the way that he operates, and watching the flow around him and his team who are so relaxed as they prepare this amazing food.
So you can say it's an Italian approach to cooking. It's we say maximum 5 ingredients, 2 of them being salt and pepper, and of course that's wildly exaggerated. But we cook so simply, so we can just harvest hours and sometimes minutes before we serve, and make super simple and just send it in. So it's super food safe because there's nothing that can grow if you don't cool stuff down and reheat and pack and all that. Just fresh produce, wash, heat, serve. It's super simple. And I think that's when you have the most vital food. It's not, I don't think that, I know that. That's when you have the most vital food. In the season for mushrooms, we have so many mushrooms here. So within 50 meters from the restaurant, we would have 4 different edible mushrooms. So when the season peaked last year, we had pointed out where they were, and then we served the first course. We're now harvesting, and we could serve like big seps this size, half a sep for each guest on third course. So that is vitality. You want to see the best part about working in a permaculture kitchen? Yeah. You can just do this in your kitchen, and you don't even need to wash the floor afterwards.
A common topic that a lot of us struggle with in permaculture as well is how to monetize it. We've got a lot of projects that are run by philanthropy, and then when the philanthropy runs out, no more project anymore. And really that's not sustainable in a sense. If we need to keep investing cash all of the time, then it's not a sustainable system. What they've done well here is chosen their niche, and it's so encouraging to see that people from around the world are willing to come here and pay quite good money for what is an authentic permaculture experience. They don't seem to care that they're using a compost toilet, because what they're here for is the experience. They're here to get back in touch. And it seems like this is starting to happen all around the world. People from all walks of life now waking up. Creating more opportunities for us to make a living while starting an enterprise that can help Mother Nature. We're dedicated to documenting the permaculture movement and spreading the word as it expands around the world. So if you've enjoyed this video and like what we're doing, please get behind us and like, comment, share and subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions of videos you would like us to make, whether they're educational videos or short docos, then please let us know. Permaculture Revolution is an open platform for anyone to get involved and contribute, so please get in touch. Remember, the revolution lives in your own backyard. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.